everybody, welcome back. Hey everybody, welcome back to Messy Vegan Baker. I'm Christina, and this week is gonna be a little different. So I'm not baking anything this week because like a week ago, I smashed my big toe and I thought it was fine, but it still really hurts. So I need to baby it so that hopefully I can get back to my life and work out and work because I'm on my feet all the time. I still have to do some meal prepping and get some vegetables cut up and whatnot to get me prepped for the rest of the week and work. So I figured why not just go with that so that I'm kind of doing two things at once, you know? Efficiency. Da-da-da. I don't know what I'm doing. Efficiency. So that's what we're going to be doing. Don't know if there will be any recipes coming out from this video, simply because I think I'm just going to be making a lot of different things that I can put together throughout the week. But yeah, maybe I can give you some tips and tricks. I don't really know. Today, we're going to be meal prepping. Even though I just told you that, but it's fine. I'll either edit it or you'll just get this. It's hello, welcome to the world. I'm a bit of a mess, but it's fine. It's also snowing, so it's like a perfect day to just be in the kitchen and cook things. I don't know what we're making yet. I'll chop some veggies and I have some tofu I want to make. I think that's it. So without further ado, let's get baking. Except in this case, it's actually cooking or meal prepping, whatever. Let's do the thing. Let's get going. So first I started off with tofu. Every time I get tofu, I put it in the freezer and let it thaw out in the fridge. And so it was time to cook this. So I was just trying to get as much water out of it as I could before putting it in my tofu press, which I realize might seem a little backwards or unnecessary, but I like to do that just to help get the water out a little bit faster. And then I just stuck it in my tofu press and let it press, I guess. I just let it sit there and dry out as much as possible. Then I peeled the potatoes so that I could make Lauren Toyota's nacho cheese sauce, which if you haven't tried that, you should because it is so good. I am obsessed with it. So I peeled some potatoes and then I put some water on to boil and I put some salt in there. Look at those pretty bubbles. And then while that was boiling, I cut up some carrots and then I put them in the water because I've found that if you let the carrots boil a little bit longer, they get soft and you don't have to worry about the starchiness of the potatoes ruining it and making it not a smooth texture. So I just always put those in while the water's heating up so that way they can cook longer. And then I went and chopped my potatoes, and yes, I am sitting down for this, which is not fun, but my toe needed to be elevated as much as possible. So I went back and I chopped all of the potatoes, and I just kind of roughly measured to make sure I have the right ratio to potatoes and carrots, which I ended up doing 2.5 servings, I guess, or portions of this nacho cheese with the potatoes that I have, which I was not mad about. So I ended up chopping up some more carrots. And then I just let those boil for about 6 minutes, 6 to 8 minutes, or until a fork inserted into a carrot and a potato is easy to do. And while that was boiling, I got out my food processor and all of my ingredients. Then when the potatoes and carrots were done boiling, I drained them completely. You don't want extra water in there. And then I put them in my food processor and I let that process until it's pretty smooth. And no matter if I use a food processor or my blender, which I don't have a high-powered blender, but I can never seem to get the little chunks of carrots to be completely homogeneous with the potatoes. I don't know. You just always see the carrots, which I don't know. Does anyone else have that issue? I need to know. But yeah, once that was mixed up enough, I added some oil and some almond milk and let that mix a little bit more. And then I just added in all of the rest of the ingredients. I do have a few changes. Like I use ketchup instead of tomato paste just because I don't have tomato paste on hand, like ever. And then I just added some spices, and no, I don't measure anything. I just wing it and taste it and see if I need to add more. And yeah, added a few more other fun ingredients. and then it was good to go. So I just poured it into some containers and let those cool down a little bit. And then I moved on to my next endeavor. Endeavor? I don't know how you say it. Whatever. And then it was back to the cutting board, or back to the... Hold on, there's a joke there. Let me think about it. Back to the drawing board. Oh, but we're at a cutting board. Oh, there was a joke. See, told you. But yes, I personally love raw purple onion on like everything. So I just diced it and sliced it and have it ready to go. That way I don't have to cut it all the time, and it's just annoying. So I chopped that up, got that into a container, and then I chopped up the bell peppers, which I only showed you how I cut one. Also, I found this really cool hack where you cut off the tops and then you can just make a slice and like cut out the middle. So much faster. I love it. So I cubed up half of the bell peppers, and then I kept slices, and then I sliced up the other half of the bell peppers because I decided we are going to make a little fajita mix thing. And then I realized that I needed a white onion, which we had, and so I started cutting it how I always cut onions, and then I realized that I actually should have sliced the onions. So some of them are diced, some of them are sliced, and you know what? It's still going to taste delicious. So, and then in a giant saute pan, I put some olive oil in there and just let the pan heat up until it was nice and hot. I got some more garlic and some more spices ready, and then once it was finally hot enough, I put in a ton of garlic. You can use fresh if you want, obviously. I put garlic until my heart's content, and nobody can tell me I'm wrong. So after that started to sizzle up and you could smell it a little bit more, then I added in my onions to help those cook down a little bit more. And then after I had sauteed those for a little bit and they were starting to turn translucent, I added in the bell peppers, and I just let that cook on like medium low heat for a little while until everything was smelling delicious and it looked soft. Honestly, that I don't have good instructions on that, but you just know. And then I also ended up adding a few more spices to the whole mix just to spice things up. And yeah, then I ended up putting that in a bowl and slicing up my tofu, kind of putting like a dry rub on them of just like, I think it was chili powder and Creole seasoning, because that stuff is so good. And I just kind of rubbed it on there, and then I put more olive oil in there, let it heat up a little bit more, and then I put in the slices, and then I'd leave it for like 4-ish minutes, and then I'd flip it and leave it for another 4 minutes until each side was golden, and then I took it off and repeated that one more time to cook all the tofu, and then it was done. So I just put everything in their right containers, and yeah, now I have food for the week, which is always really exciting. Okay, we're back. So I thought I had it planned in my head. What I was doing. I also made rice yesterday, but I just have an Instant Pot, so I throw it in and forget about it. So hopefully this was helpful, maybe inspiring if you're not sure what to make for dinner or lunch or whatever, because I know I personally am in a rut of making like Mexican style food, Mexican American. Let me know in the comments down below what you tend to gravitate towards making every week. And do you guys meal prep, or do you just kind of make it as you go? I'm curious. We will be back to our regular show, our regular series next week. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe button. If you're a regular, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, let me know in the comments how much you meal prep, what you love to meal prep, what your typical go-tos are. Yeah, I need inspiration. I'm stuck. I think that's it. So I hope you learned something and or were entertained, and I will see all of you lovely humans next week. Bye. I haven't thought this through that well.